Hi everyone, welcome to my course Getting Started with Excel for Beginners. So as the title states, this course is for beginners, for people who have never used Excel before, or they just started using it and there's no resources online that make any sense to them. I made this course specifically for you guys. My name is Jed Guinto, and if you're looking for a great place to start learning Excel, you've definitely come to the right place. So before we get started and start teaching and start getting into Excel and everything, let me just introduce who I am, where I've come from, my work with Excel, and why I've built this course and so on. So like I said, my name is Jed and I'm 26 years old. I live in Melbourne, Australia. I graduated from university a few years ago with an advanced diploma in aerospace engineering, a bachelor's degree of aerospace engineering with honors, and a graduate certificate of engineering management. So when I graduated, I went overseas. I worked as an aerospace engineer. I worked as a strength analyst, engineer, and programmer, and I did things and worked on planes like the Boeing 737, Airbus A350, and Airbus A320, among a few others, right? When I got back to Australia, I did some tutoring for some kids. And that was awesome. And since then, a bit later on, I got a job at Ford Motor Company. So right now, I'm the Asia Pacific and Africa tooling analyst. And so it's probably pretty clear that I really like numbers and dealing with data and so on. So moving on to the next thing. My skill level with Excel, I'd say I'm pretty good with Excel. The thing with a program like this is that it's such a big program and so powerful, and you can do so many things with it outside of itself as well, which is a bit hard to understand at this stage. So even for me, I've been using this for over a decade. I mean, I've designed an aircraft using Excel during university. So, I mean, the thing is incredible. And even up to this point where you think you've learned so much about the program already, you learn something new that's so basic and fundamental, connected with everything else you've already learned, and all of a sudden you're a beginner again. You know, that's the great part. So you're in good hands, and hopefully I can teach you guys a few things. So why did I write this course? Now, even though I've been using Excel for a really long time, there are still things I don't know. There are still things that you go, well, how do I do this in Excel? You know, I want it to be able to move like this or calculate like that. So you go online or you find a book and you try and decipher what they're saying. My problem with this is sometimes the people who are teaching it cannot teach at all. They're speaking to someone who doesn't know what they're doing as if they were a programmer or an Excel expert, and they're using all this lingo, and I hate that. I just want someone to break it down for me. So I got sick of waiting for someone to do that, and it's so few and far between to find really, really good ones like that who just get to the point. And that's the point of this course. I just wanted to get to the point of how to do something. So like I said, for me, the greatest thing is the ability to control really large sets of data. I'm not talking about 100 or 1,000. I'm talking about millions, sometimes even billions. And from all that data, you're able to find patterns in that data that can tell you things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. I mean, that's probably for me the most amazing thing about Excel, that I can plug in my entire financial report for the last 5 years and be able to tell that in certain months of the year that I'm peaking, or I'm not saving enough, or I'm spending too little, investing too much, and so on. I mean, you can't do that on paper. It's really difficult, yeah? So, I mean, what is Excel? Let's get to it. What exactly is this program? Well, to put it really simply for the beginner, Microsoft Excel is a program which allows you to record data and then manipulate that data through calculations, through graphs, tables, and so on in a really effective and powerful way. I mean, I don't know how I can break it down any further than that, but you'll be able to see this in the lectures coming up. The topics I'll be covering, I wanted to cover something that went from start to finish and you had a result at the end. And I also didn't want to do generic tutorials where here's a cell, there's a cell, here's the formula, and that's it. And it doesn't mean anything. For something to really connect and to be really put into your brain, I feel it has to relate to your reality. Yeah. So I did a case study, which I'll explain in the next one. We'll go through really quickly what these are. So we're gonna go starting with how to create an Excel file, and then how to save it. So you've already got something, you've got your template ready. Then from there, we're gonna build a very simple table with all the elements that you need for a table, like headings. You got some formatting in there. Then after that, we're gonna do some calculations within that. And then once we're done, we're gonna set up your worksheet so that you can print it off and it's really legible and you can read it and it looks pretty and all that. You know? Also, what I've done is, I know a lot of people like to have the document in front of them while they do these things. So I've written up some documents which outline everything that I do in the video lesson. So you can follow along, you can download it beforehand and follow along the video, or you can do the PDFs only or the videos only. I'll leave it up to you. I've also made them, completely downloadable along with all the videos. So help yourself, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope it helps as much as it helps me when I do these kinds of things. The course length, I've tried to keep it pretty short, but one of the things I hate, and I've seen it a lot in a lot of the other courses, is to have a video for the lesson part that goes for 15 minutes or whatever. And I hate it because there are topics which can be taught in 30 seconds. Sometimes they just need to get to the point of it, and that's why I built the course to be very concise, very short, and to the point. So if you can repeat it, you can repeat it within a few minutes. You don't have to wait for the whole thing or scan through the whole video. It's one of the things I hate. The requirements to actually do this course: you'll need Microsoft Excel 2007 or later. You'll need, of course, access to a computer. You'll need internet access. And for the PDF files, you need some sort of PDF reader, which I think is standard on every single computer ever made now. I don't think it's something you have to get extra. But if you do, there's a lot of free ones you can get online. I think, I'm not too sure. But you can just go on Google, type in PDF reader, and I'm sure there's heaps you can either buy or download or something like that. So without further ado, let's begin. Let's get into this, and I hope you guys enjoy. See ya.